Hello there. I'm Nancy from Black Sheep Knitting in Needham, Massachusetts. This is our weekly podcast, and today I've got lots to talk about, so I will not delay any further. I wanted to show you my finished Flicker and Flame hat. We still have kits. This is a women's or an adult small. I recommend you do the adult large because it was a little small. This is in worsted weight. This is Dream State and Rios, and this was in the sport weight pattern, but I don't think in the worsted, so I added this to add a little length, and I really had to block it because I don't like hats that fit tightly. This is a snug fit, and this is a pom-pom. So I wanted to do a little, no, I won't do that, never mind. I wanted to show you a kit that we're making up, and this, as you know, is, most of you know, is the Shift pattern. And it's very popular. It's Andrea Mowry, and it came out a few years ago, and I want to say this was the beginning of her Slip Stitch Shift series. She's done the Shift, Night Shift, Shifty, and there's a hat, and I forget the name of the hat, and now she has a cardigan that just came out that is also the same. They're all done with Spin Cycle, and I forgot when I said this, I said Dream State. This is Spin Cycle Dream State, which is the Spin Cycle worsted weight. These, by the way, these yarns are I think now they have a machine, but originally when they started out doing Spin Cycle many years ago, they were spinning by hand. It's a fascinating yarn because it's gradient as well as multicolored, kind of. You'll see it when I show. But this is a really great cowl that is knit back and forth, and then you seam it in the end, and this is done with a mattress stitch, which at some point I'll demonstrate again. It also has a 3-stitch I-cord on the bottom, which is a great, and it doesn't have it, I guess it does have it on the top too. I didn't knit this, so I can't profess to know a whole lot about it really. But it has this great, and I find this is a great edge for shawls and scarves, particularly things that roll. This keeps it from rolling. So this is made with 3 different skeins of the Spin Cycle dyed in the wool, and I've seen it in all kinds of combinations, and I've never seen one that I didn't think worked really well. You'll hear Robin's dog is doing something, rolling on the floor, I think. So I wanted to show you the patterns that the kits that we're making up for this kit that are going to be available online and of course in the shop. And this is called Bruised Ego. This is called Stay Ready. I love that one. And Rosy Maple, which is the color that was in my hat. So that's one combo. Here's another one. This is called Miss Me, Afternoon Delight, and Castaway. Very pretty. And this combination is Lapis, which I love because I love blue. Valley Girl. There's Valley Girl Gigi. I'm saying it again. And also Lapis, which I'm not sure I meant to do, but you could do, because these are actually different. They're Lapis, but you'll notice in the dyed in the wool, they differ a great deal from batch to batch because I think it's so difficult to make them the same. I may change that colorway because I put these out in a hurry. This one is Miss Me, Castaway, and Mississippi Masala. And over here I have, this one is fun. This is Family Jewels, Absinthe, and Deep Bump. be fun. And then lastly, I think I mixed these up, but I do like this one. This is Rosy Maple again, which if you look at my other Rosy Maple, look at the difference. Go figure. So it's amazing how different they can be. So that's how they are. So Rosy Maple, Bruised Ego, and Family Jewels. So those are some kits that are available. It's a lot of fun to do. I love this kind of cowl. Well, I love cowls because once you put them on, they stay straight. They don't move around, and you don't have to adjust. The tails don't fall off as with the shawl. I wanted to tell you about what I'm wearing. This is a sweater called Wabush, I don't know, W-A-B-U-S-H, by a Canadian designer called Jennifer Beale. And if you want to have a treat, I would look her up. It's B-E-A-L-E. And can't remember if she's in Nova Scotia. If you watch Fleece and Harmony, in their early episodes, Kim was making one of her shawls called, it'll come to me, or one of her sweaters, excuse me. And this is the most challenging project I think I've ever undertaken. There are several steeks in it. There were steeks in the sleeves, steeks here, and I can't even begin to tell you how it's constructed. But at one point, you're knitting, it was 300 and some stitches. You're knitting here, across here, down this sleeve, back up, and around the back. It was over 300 stitches. And there was a lot of steeking. I learned a lot about steeking, and I learned how not to do some steeking, because on some parts I don't think I did a great job. When I finished it, this is supposed to be a boat neck, and it's a twisted rib. The boat neck was out to here. So I wore it once, and I kept, all day I was pulling it up. So a couple days ago, I took it out and redid it. I probably need to block the neck again. But I redid it by picking up, so I could see the holes where I had picked up before to do the ribbing. And I did every other one. And I thought it would make it kind of pucker, but it particularly with blocking, it's not going to pucker at all. But it really pulled the neck in, so I had I ended up, I think in the end, half the number of stitches that I picked up. So you can do that on a neck that is too big, and don't be afraid to pull it. You could run elastic, but this was so wide, you wouldn't want to run elastic. It wasn't going to work. It had to be taken out. So, and it took me an evening to pull it out and to do it again. Remember, if you pull something out that has been that's been knit and sitting there for a while, which this was a matter of a month or so, you have to soak it. You have to, put it back in a skein, soak it in some water, and then take it out and hang it and let it dry because of the crimp that'll happen in the stitches. But I luckily had more of this yarn. This is from Northlight Fibers, their worsted weight Atlantic, I think it's called, or Water Street. No, I think Water Street's their DK. Anyway, it's that, and then the gold color in here is from Shepherd's Wool. It's one of their colors. And these were the colors that were in the pattern. But if you want to look at really interesting construction and beautiful patterns, they're really cool. Look her up because it's worth a look, and it's kind of fun. We have a lot of new things in the shop, probably too many to show you today. We did get a restock on Lannis Light, which we just love. And I don't have a sample of it here right now, but those of you who've knit with it love it. What I do have, which is new in the shop, are sweater care wash kits. And this is from Coco Knits. And if you're putting delicates in the wash, particularly your sweaters, why not put it in one of these bags? They're also good as lingerie bags for the wash. This size, I think, is the large size. I saw no point in ordering the small size, because why not have the large size if you can? So this is one of those mesh bags that zips. The zipper, so it opens all the way up like this. Plenty of room for a sweater. You close it back up, and you can tuck the little zipper in. There's a little space here to tuck the zipper in, which of course with my arthritic fingers is not always easy to do, but I just push that in and it's hidden in there, so it's not going to catch on other things. So that's a new thing in the shop from Coco Knits. We love their things. And this one's not so new, but it's a lot of you haven't seen it, so I wanted to show you. And of course it's going to be a challenge to open, because they, I think my nail will do it. Yeah, they have tape over here. So if I can ever open it, this is what happens when you get old. Your fingers don't work as well. And these are snug. Anyway, this is a row counter. And it's a nice little row counter that we like because it's got numbers on it. You can see, oh, and there's like a mirror in the back if you want to see yourself put on your lipstick. So you can move the little pieces like that, and then, which some row counters don't have, it locks. And this one, oh my goodness, I'm going to show you this and it doesn't function properly. Well, they do lock, and I'll figure out what. Oh my gosh. Oh wait. So this is, you just click it to, I wasn't even using it properly. Excuse me. So you just click that, and then here at the top you can lock it, and then it won't advance. So that's a great little item in the shop. I think it's online. I find these really good to have because you want one that locks. Somebody was saying they heard theirs click in their yarn bag, which you know, so you want one that, not this one, but one that didn't have a lock on it. So it's called the Knitting Row Counter from Coco Knits. I wanted to show you some new yarns, and this is one I'm very excited about. This is called Frida, and it's from one of my favorite companies, Lang. It's 240 yards of 100% superwash gradient dyed wool, and it comes in these gorgeous colors. And as I was talking about the shift is done in a sport weight, but if you wanted a little bit larger one, why not use these? And the price point, I can tell you, is better on this. And this is super, super soft. So how about if you put those two together? Wouldn't that be gorgeous? And you could probably just do it with 2. You could do it with 3.
What's the weight?
The weight is worsted, a light worsted. It is 19 stitches over 4 inches. And it's just lusciously soft, single ply, beautiful yarn. So that's in the shop. And then I wanted to show you a new, we had this a long time ago, and then for some reason didn't get it again, but I love it. It's called Fino from Monos, and it's 70% merino and 30% silk. And it's 490 yards, so it's 100 grams skein. They're gradient dyed, not gradient, tonally dyed. So this one is called Havisham, and this one is Watered Silk, which is a beautiful aqua and gray. And This one is called Peacock Plume. And you can put these together. We have also gotten back in the shop more of the Fino Minis from Manos. I didn't bring them out, but you've seen them before, and you could see them online. This one is called Topsy Turvy, which is very fun. So those are in the shop, and you can put them with mini skeins for, you could either do, there's a shawl called, oh my gosh, my brain has gone today. Robin's going to get the other little minis. But the shawl, we showed it online before, or on the podcast before, called Trillion. And it is somewhere in the shop. But these are the little minis. You can look it up online. And these are some of the minis that we have that would go with it. And the other shawl I mentioned is called Color Riot, which is another great one that uses minis. So you can do, you could do blues, or you can, stick in any color in here. So they're very, very pretty, I think. This one is more subtle, and you could put it with this. That's a beautiful, subtle group of colors. So those are new in the shop, and you can see we got some big orders in lately. Our little busy elves that work here have been busy putting labels on, or price tags on, and putting them away. This is another one we're pretty excited about. We have the Vintage Baby in solid colors, and now they're making one that's hand painted. And I think if you watched the video with Andra, she talked about that. We were talking about it, and here they now are in the shop. This one is called Mint Chocolate. Really? Well, I guess you could call it that. This one is called Mixed Berries. It's little bits of turquoise and pink. And so if you're looking for a cute yarn for a baby sweater or baby hat, this is soft as all get out. It's acrylic, wool, and nylon, and it's superwash, and you can even put it in the dryer, though again, I almost never ever recommend putting any knitwear in the dryer, because I think it just beats it up a little bit and it's unnecessary. So you could wash it on, like in your sweater care bag on gentle cycle. But then I would just lay it out to dry on top of my dryer or something. This one is called Birthday Cake. And lastly, we have Mango. And it's got beautiful pinks and yellow mango colors. So they're also wonderful for just a simple baby blanket. You could just do a simple garter blanket and you'd have all these great colors. So very fun. Or, as Andra said, you could make a lady's sweater with it. Or you could strand it, run it with a skein of mohair would be a fun thing. And you'd get all these great colors. And lastly, not the last thing we got in the shop, but this is the last thing I'm going to show you. We decided to get in Barocco vintage sock. And this I love because, number one, it's $10 for 437 yards. And it's really a tough yarn for socks. You can really wear these a lot. It's 437 yards. And again, it's the vintage combination, which is the acrylic, wool, and nylon. So it's got the nylon in and the acrylic for the strength. And it comes in, again, vintage, I just love them because they have such beautiful colors. So this one is Buttercream, and we have Plum. You can also use these for sweaters or scarves. There's so many sweaters that are knit in fingering weight or fingering weight with a mohair. So this becomes very affordable, and this is so soft you could drag it with a mohair and have a really nice sweater. This is called Pumpkin and Smoke, which is one of my favorite colorways in vintage, their smoke colorway. So here Robin's bringing me a great combo, and you could make a hat with this, or a sweater would be gorgeous. This is the Isair mohair, silk mohair in copper. So we have lots. You can combine different companies, their yarns, and they go well together. This one is called Sky Blue, which is sky blue, and this is oats. For those of you who like earthy kinds of natural colors, this is a beautiful one. And finally, we have Aurora, which is, boy, that's magenta, if ever there was magenta. So these would all go well together in Fair Isle. So we love these, and we love the price point. It's great. If you don't want to, if your budget is only just so much, these are great yarns for that. The other thing I wanted to announce at long last, we're going to have a beginning crochet class. And this is for absolute beginners. If you already know how to crochet, this is not for you. This is starting from the very, very basic, teaching very basic knitting stitches and working up to a project to finish. It will likely be, though I haven't got the dates exactly, it will likely, so far this first one, will be on a Thursday afternoon, probably 1 to 3, something like that. We'll announce the dates, look for them online, or not online, sorry, I don't know if we'll have it online. Well, we might, yeah, we'll put it online, so you could sign up online. And we'll go through, from learning the basic, chain stitch, single crochet, double crochet, triple crochet, half double crochet, and slip knots, and what else are we going to do? A slip stitch, and how to read a pattern, a crochet pattern. A lot of people have trouble with that. If it's in a graph, it's harder to read. I profess not to be an expert crocheter, but I've crocheted for many, many years, off and on. I'm kind of self-taught, so I'm going back to the basics. So you're going to learn the basic stuff. We're not going to fool around. We want you to get a good foundation. And hopefully then we could go into a second crochet class, or if there's demand, we'll think of a time to do another beginning class. So I hope that you have a great week of knitting and crocheting, and looking at YouTube videos, which I spend a lot of time doing because I knit a lot and I need something to do while I'm knitting. And I think I've run out of things to say for today. So we'll see you next time. Bye.